I'm Tara Koppenhaver. I'm a native of Ashland, Kentucky, grew up in Boyd County, and I grew up with quilting in my family. Both my grandmothers quilted. My dad's mother quilted out of necessity, and then my mother's parents, both of them quilted for gifts and such. Learning to quilt, I'll say the old-fashioned way, with cardboard templates and marking the fabric with your pen and hand cutting each piece with scissors was how I knew how to quilt. And so fast forward years later, and I went to quilting class and learned about the rotary cutter, the new rulers, and all the different techniques. So I was hooked. Joined a quilt guild in Greenock County and met some ladies and such. And I had always been a customer of this particular quilt shop, which formerly it was called Penny's Quilt Shop. And she had announced her retirement. And one of the ladies in the quilt guild was a quilter here and had suggested to Penny, instead of retiring, would she be interested in selling the shop? And that lady came to me and said she would sell the shop. Would you be interested? And I'm like, well, we've kind of always talked about owning a quilt shop. And then, of course, my long time dream of having a shop or a boutique of some sort, my husband and I bought the shop in late September of 2023. We've added some, call it name brand fabric. We have Moda fabric. We also have Riley Blake fabric. We offer everything from solids and blenders up to specific design fabrics, which could be July 4th, red, white, and blue themed, patriotic, to floral, to Christmas, Halloween, kids fabric as well. We have homespun and woven fabrics as well. We have patterns and all the tools that you need, from the most intricate design you would want to make to the simple. We have kits for particular projects as well as pre-cut pieces. So your charm packs, which are 5-inch squares, your layer cakes, which are 10-inch squares, your jelly rolls, which are 2.5-inch wide strips of a collection of fabric. We do have some small pre-made gift items, notepads, reusable shopping bags, some Bible covers or journal covers. If you don't quilt and have no desire to quilt, but you want to give a quilt as a gift, we also will make quilts for you. We don't do long arm services in-house, but we do have 4 that do work for us, and they're here locally, so we support the local people doing that. We also have a gentleman that stops in every week on Thursday mornings to pick up any sewing machines to be repaired or maintained, or any scissors to be sharpened. So we have on Tuesdays through Fridays and Saturdays sometimes, we have people that come in and do a sit and sew. And that means that they bring their sewing machines, any projects they want to work on, and they sit at our tables and use our services and tools, utensils, and as well as our expertise if they need help with anything. And they just work on their projects individually. Now, sometimes there's a couple ladies that are working on something together. We have gentlemen that come in and do this as well. But that is called a sit and sew. And to me, it's like the old-fashioned sewing circle where the ladies would gather and work on one quilt for one family, and then they just kind of take turns and do, the next quilt for the next family, and so forth. We have morning, afternoon, and evening classes. We can be found on Facebook, and that's where all of our classes are listed. We do want people to pre-register for the classes so that we can make sure we have enough supplies and kits available for the class that we're offering. You can stop in the shop and pre-register, or you can do that on Facebook through the link. We also have beginning classes that we do on Saturday. So if you're a new sewer or a new quilter, you could come on Saturday mornings and learn everything from how to thread your machine to how to make your first quilt block using the rulers, the tools, your sewing machine, and such. We also offer other classes as well. We have classes that are designed for specific blocks, quilt types such as log cabin and Dresden plate and things like that. But we also are not just for fabric and quilting. As the name says, Best Friends Fabric and More, part of the and more part, is we have other types of craft or hobby classes. We have had calligraphy classes. We have had card making classes and still continue to have card making classes. We have done an essential oil class, like a spa day type class where you make the products and take them with you, so a make and take session. And then we continue to have people coming in asking, can you teach us how to do this, or do you know how to make this? And so just kind of on the go advice as well for customers that come in. And quilting isn't just a bed quilt either, but there's also quilted items. And so the techniques that you would learn here, or the techniques you would learn with quilting basics, you take to other products and things you can make for yourself: purses, table runners, oven mitts, coasters, pillows, and things like that. So it's not sewing as in alterations or things like that. It's quilting, so you're making things from scratch rather than repairing or altering existing garments or items. However, sometimes the quilts, with all of their use, do get used quite well or well loved, and the stitches will come loose. So, if you need something that needs to be repaired, we can help restore it or repair it for you. If they're thinking, what would I use with classes or this skill set? It isn't just about making quilts. What you learn here is a little bit of math, a little bit of geometry. So you're going to use the things that you thought you would never use from high school and make something for yourself. And we had a young lady on Saturday that was 15 or 16 that came to class with her mother, and she made a pillow. But she had to make the quilt block first, and then she decided she wanted to make a pillow instead of taking this block and duplicating it into a quilt. And so she left with an adorable little pillow that she made and that she can say she made for herself. Now she can keep that, or she can give that away to a friend. Plus, I think it's fun. Bring a couple of your friends with you, boys or girls. There's lots of men in the quilting industry, and make a pillow, or make a skirt, or make a pair of pajama pants, or something like that you can show off, but also that is useful. In July, we're going to start having Christmas in July classes. I think it fits the bill as a one-stop shop for all your quilting needs. Giving back to the community is important to me and to us. So in the month of June, if you know anyone that is an active duty Army member, you can stop in the shop and put their name in for a drawing to win an Army themed quilt. And then each month from now until January, we will give away the Army, the Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, Fire, and Police. And all of those will be announced on our Facebook page as well. I think quilters are among the nicest and generous people. I mean, I see the quilters here at Sit and Sew just about every week throw fabric to another person. It's like, here, you can have this. And not only are they generous with their items, they're generous with their praise on projects and positive criticism for how to do better maybe the next time, as well as generous with their experience. Everybody has a different experience with quilting and has learned something that maybe someone else doesn't know yet. And the old adage of you learn something new every day, it's really true. Around here, we learn something new every day. If you're like me, you want to feel the fabric, you want to touch it, you want to see how does it stretch, or how does it match with something that you're working on. And the only way to do that is in person. Of course, you should support local and buy from the local quilt shops. And you can't get the one-on-one service, the personalized service, or the expertise from anything you can do or buy online. And something we say here is every day in the quilt shop is the best day ever.